Good morning, students. Today we are going to start the other book, that is the supplementary reader in our syllabus. The name of the book is Snapshot. And from Snapshot, we are going to read the first chapter today. This is The Summer of the Beautiful White Horse, written by William Sarion. And in this chapter, William Sarion has actually he has mentioned something about the people who are generally called here as Garoglanian. Garoglanian was actually a tribe, and these Garoglanian people, they were living in Armenia, and this Armenian tribe, Garoglanian, this is known to be very honest, very trustworthy, and honest also. Trustworthy, honesty, these are the hallmarks of this category of these people. Or maybe Garoglanian people, they are known to be full of loyalty, they are full of honesty, and for trust they are known throughout or worldwide. They are known for these type of characters. So today we are going to start this chapter. What is written here? This story is about two poor Armenian boys who belong to a tribe whose hallmarks are trust and honesty. From the very first line now. One day back, there in the good old days when I was 9 and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence and life was still a delightful and mysterious dream, my cousin Murad, who was considered crazy by everybody who knew him except me, came to my house at 4 in the morning and woke me up tapping on the window of my room. Now, what actually happened? The narrator of this story is one of the Armenian boys. This story is about two people, two Armenian boys. Number one, Aram. Number two, his cousin Murad. And Murad is 13 years old. And this boy, who is the narrator of the story, he is 9 years old. And his name is Aram. Aram and Murad, they are cousins, and both actually had, you can say, some kind of characteristics which are to be found in all the Garoglanian people. Now, what actually happened? One day, when this boy, Aram, he was only 9 years old at that time, and he was sleeping because it was 4 in the morning. You can imagine that it was 4 a.m. in the morning and everybody was sleeping at that time, as was expected. So what actually happened? One day at 4 o'clock in the morning, the boy Murad, who was the cousin of this boy Aram, Murad, who was 13 years old, he came at 4 in the morning and he wanted to wake this boy Aram, and he was tapping on the window. Tapping means he was trying to wake him up by creating some noise. I'm reading this paragraph once again. One day back, there in good old days means Aram is going to tell us a story that in his, or maybe during his childhood, when he was 9 years old and the world was full of every imaginable kind of magnificence. What is the meaning of this line? Imaginable kind of magnificence means at that time, for these children, the world was full of wonder. It was a wonderful world and full of beauty, full of happiness. And life was still a delightful and mysterious dream. And at that time, for them, life was full of happiness, full of delight. And at that time, his cousin Murad, who was considered crazy. Now, this is very important that Murad, who was 13 years old, he was thought to be crazy by everybody. Everybody thought that this boy Murad was having something, you can say, some kind of madness in his character, or he was crazy. Except Aram. Aram did not think like this. Came to my house means Murad came to his house. It was 4 in the morning and he woke him up by tapping on the window of his room. Aram, he said, means he actually shouted. He was trying to woke him up. And he said, Aram. I jumped out of bed and looked out of the window. Now, Aram got up and he looked out of the window and he found that his cousin Murad was tapping the window and he wanted him to come out. I couldn't believe what I saw. It was not morning yet, but it was summer With daybreak, not many minutes around the world, corner of the world, it was light enough for me to know I wasn't dreaming. What is the meaning? It wasn't morning yet. Means it was still night, maybe 4 a.m. in the morning, and the sun has not risen, or it was not in the sky, and there was no light. With daybreak, not many minutes around the corner of the world, it was light enough. Means maybe after some minutes, the light would come out. But he actually came to know, he understood that he was not dreaming, because he actually got up and he noticed that he was awake, and really Murad was standing outside the window and he wanted him to come out. So it was not a dream. My cousin Murad was sitting on a beautiful white horse. Then Aram noticed that Murad was sitting on a white horse, and it was a very beautiful white horse, and Murad was having a ride on it and he was sitting on it. I stuck my head out of the window and rubbed my eyes. Now he got really excited. Means Aram got excited. He get his head out of the window. Means he pushed himself out of the window and wanted to see whether really there was a horse under Murad or not. Was Murad really having a horse ride? And he rubbed his eyes. Means Aram rubbed his eyes. Yes, he said in Armenian, it's a horse and you are not dreaming. Make it quick if you want to ride. Now, without, you can say, spending any time, without wasting any time, Murad wanted that if Aram was interested in having a horse ride, he should come out and they could have a horse ride. They had a horse and they could enjoy the riding. And he said this in Armenian language. This is page number 2. I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive more than anybody else who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. But this was more than I could believe. What is the meaning? I knew my cousin Murad enjoyed being alive. He knew that his cousin Murad always being alive more than anybody else. Means he was always interested in enjoying things, and he had that vitality, he had that liveliness better than anybody else in the world who had ever fallen into the world by mistake. Or maybe he actually mistakenly had taken birth in this world, but this was more than even I could believe. Means Aram did not believe that he really got a horse, and this time he was trying to take a horse ride. And how he could, you can say, manage to get a horse, because these people, they are really poor and they could not afford to have a horse in their family. They couldn't enjoy these kind of things, and this is really unusual for him. He couldn't believe that how Murad had got a horse. In the first place, my earliest memories had been memories of horses, and my first longing had been longings to ride. Means Aram wanted to tell him that he always wanted that, he always had a desire, he always had a longing. Longing means he had a wish, he had a desire to want to go, he wanted to go for horse ridings, and he always had you can say, very pleasant memories related to horses, and he always had a desire to go for horse riding. But he could not get all these things because they couldn't afford, because they were very poor. This was the wonderful part. In the second place, we were poor. He says that first of all, he had a longing, he had a desire, he had a wish to go for horse riding. The second thing was that they were poor also. First one, his desire was always there to have a horse ride. Then they were poor, they could not afford to get a horse. This was the part that would not permit me to believe what I saw. Now that is why he was not able to allow himself to believe that there was a horse. We were poor, we had no money. Now he started talking about we. We means Geroglanian people. Geroglanian people, they actually belong to a tribe, Geroglanian, and this Geroglanian tribe, they belong to very poverty stricken background. They are very poor, They had no money for years, for many years together. So he tells us something about his family, you can say Garogulinian tribe. He says, we were poor. We had no money. The whole tribe was poverty stricken. Poverty stricken means they were really full of poverty. They had no money. They were living in abject, severe poverty. No money was there. Every branch of the Garogulinian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty of the world. And that is why he says that all the people, all the branches related to Garogulinian family was living in the most amazing and comical poverty. He says that the poverty here is called as amazing and comical. Why? Because they generally, or maybe the other people of the world, they actually laugh at the poverty, at the, you can say, in the situation these Garogulinian people are managing to fill their empty stomachs, because the people, they laugh at the poverty because they did not know how they are surviving, how they are coping up with the situation. Nobody could understand where we ever get money enough to keep us with food in our bellies. Means the people, they did not know how these Garogulinian people, they were managing to get money, and they were able to afford food to their children or to themselves. Nobody knows. Not even the old men of the family. Even the old men, they could not express how they were managing to have their survival, even though that they were so poor. We had been famous for our honesty for something like 11 centuries, and they are only known and famous for their honesty. That was the hallmark. The trust and honesty is their hallmarks. That is their main characteristic. That is their feature. They are known to be honest for something like 11 centuries. For 11 centuries, for 1100 years, they are known to be very full of honesty and trustworthy. Even when we had been the wealthiest family in what we liked to think was the world, and 11 centuries ago, maybe they were wealthiest family, they had a lot of money, and at that time also they were known to be very honest. They were, at that time also, they were very loyal. They were full of honesty and trust. We liked to think of us the world. We were proud first. Now this is very important line written here. He says that these Garogulinian people, they were proud first, then they were honest next, and after that we believed what is right or wrong. Means this is very important, that first of all, for these people, the first and foremost thing, the most important significant thing in their life was that they were proud. Why? Because they belonged to Garogulinian tribe, which was known for honest and trustworthiness, honesty. And second, they were honest. Then at the third place, they would believe what was right or what was wrong. None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Can you tell the meaning of this line? None of us would take advantage of anybody in the world, let alone steal. Matlab that they could not, even in drastic of the situation, even in emergency, they would never be trying to take the advantage of the situation. They could not do anything illegal. They could not make a mistake at all. Let alone steal means stealing, or you can say thieveries, or maybe stealing something illegally. It was beyond their imagination. Chori to bahut dur ki baat hai. They could not take advantage of anybody's situation. They could not take advantage, let alone steal. The stealing was beyond imagination. It was beyond their limits. Consequently, even though I could see the horse, so magnificent, even though I could smell it, means even though he was able to see the horse, even though he was able to smell it, which, and the smell was very attractive, and he always had that longing, he always had that desire to have a horse ride, which was so lovely. Even though I could hear it breathing, even though he was able to hear that there was a horse outside the window and it was breathing also, so exciting, I couldn't believe the horse had anything to do with my cousin Murad. But still, he was not able to believe. He couldn't believe that really it was a horse under Murad, and Murad at that time was enjoying a horse ride. He couldn't believe that this horse belonged to Murad, or with me, or with any of the other members of the family, that anybody from the Garogulanian family could have a horse. It was beyond, you can say, imagination, and beyond their belief also. It was an unbelievable thing for them. Asleep or awake, because I knew my cousin Murad could not have bought the horse, because he knew that this horse could not be bought by Murad. Murad could not have bought the horse, and if he couldn't have bought it, it must have been stolen. If this horse was not bought, then it could be stolen, or it must be stolen by Murad, and I refuse to believe he had stolen it. Why he refused? Because no Garogulanian could do anything like this. No Garogulanian could be a thief. No Garogulanian could steal, even in the drastic of the situations. So he was not able to understand how he got a horse, how Murad was enjoying a horse ride. No member of the Garogulanian family could be a thief. Now this is very important, that they had a very firm belief in themselves. They never was able to get convinced that any Garogulanian could do anything wrong, like, you can say, thievery. Nobody could steal anything if he belongs to Garogulanian family or tribe. I stared first at my cousin and then at the horse. Now he was again started staring. He was having a very, you can say, close look at the horse and then at his cousin. There was a pious stillness and humor in each of them, which on the one hand delighted me and on the other hand frightened me. Means, on the one hand he got really attracted, so he was delighted that there was a horse outside and they could enjoy a horse ride, and on the other hand he was frightened also. Why he was frightened? Because he had a doubt that maybe this horse was stolen by Murad, and this could be a very bad thing for Garogulanian people, because they were not allowed to do anything wrong and they are known to be honest and trustworthy. Murad, I said, where did you steal this horse? And then he actually started talking to him and he asked him, in a very straightforward manner, Aram asked him that where this horse was taken from and how he got that horse. Leap out of the window, he said, if you want to ride. But this was said by Murad. Murad, very casually, he gave an offer to Aram and he asked him if he wanted to learn to ride, if he wanted to have a ride on a horse, he could come out. It was true then, he had stolen the horse, because Murad was not ready to tell him anything about the horse, how he got it. So there was a doubt that started, you can say, creating, you can say, some space in the mind or in the heart of Aram. And Aram had that doubt that maybe it was true that the horse was a stolen one. It was stolen. There was no question about it. He had come to invite me to ride or not, as I chose. Well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same thing as stealing something else, such as money. Now, this is very important, because these two people, they are very clever. And at the same time, because both are having a longing, they both are they have a keen desire to go for horse ride. That is why they are making some excuses. They are going to create some excuses that they should not be, you can say, said to be a thief. At the same time, they wanted to enjoy a horse ride on it. So he says, well, it seemed to me stealing a horse for a ride was not the same as stealing something else, such as money. For all I knew, maybe it was not stealing at all. Now this was again came into the mind of, you can say, Murad and maybe Aram also, because they actually wanted to make an excuse that stealing a horse was something else. But if you are going to take a horse for some days, and after taking, you can say, some rides, you have the intention to give it back to the rightful owner, it could not be said to be as stealing. It was not stealing in the eyes of the children or eyes of these two boys, until and unless they did not have that intention to not to return it, or to, you can say, sell it to somebody else, because it was not money, it was a horse, and they had the intention to take the horse rides on it, and after that they had the intention to return it to the owner. If you were crazy about horses the way my cousin Murad and I were, it was not stealing. Now, this was said by, this was this was pondered by, this was a thought that came into the mind of Aram. Aram wanted to tell us that it was not stealing actually, because they were really had a desire to go for horse rides. That is why they were creating some excuses, and this was an excuse that was created and invented by Aram at the spot. And Aram said that until and unless they had no intention against that horse, it could not be stealing. It was not become stealing. It would not become stealing until we offer to sell the horse. Until they are not going to sell the horse, it could not be said to be as stealing, which of course I knew we would never do, and we had no intention to do this. Let me put on some clothes, I said. All right, he said, but hurry. Now, Aram was ready to go out of the window to have that horse ride, and that is why he said, okay, after putting on some clothes, he would come out of the house. And this was said by Murad. He said, all right, he said, but hurry, means hurry up. They did not have, you can say, ample time, because they are short of time and they had to go out for a horse ride. I leaped into my clothes, means he jumped into his clothes back. I jumped down to the yard from the window and leaped up onto the horse behind my cousin Murad. Then he jumped out of the to the yard, and he jumped at the back of the horse also, and he started having a horse just behind cousin Murad, because Murad was sitting in the front. That year we lived at the edge of the town on Walnut Avenue. Behind my house was the country, vineyards, orchards, irrigation ditches, country roads. In less than 3 minutes we were on Olive Avenue. Now he started telling us, Aram, the narrator, 9-year-old boy, he started telling us the story, the background, the, you can say, surroundings, that they started their horse ride, and they started it from the Walnut Avenue, because this was the place where these people, they were residing. And this is very important paragraph of this chapter, because in this chapter we are told that these people, these Armenians or these Garogulenian people, they really liked nature. They always wanted to have their life among, or maybe amid, the greenery, amid forests, and they always liked to enjoy the natural beauty. That is why they started their journey from Walnut Avenue, where they were residing. They had their houses there. Behind our house was the country. Country means it was a countryside. It was a rural area. Country का मतलब यहाँ पर गांव से होता है. So there was countryside. It गांव का इलाका था, where they could find a lot of things, like there were vineyards. Vineyards means there were some orchards, then irrigation ditches, country roads. All these things could be seen. In less than 3 minutes, we were on Olive Avenue. From Walnut Avenue, they reached Olive Avenue, and then the horse began to trot. What is the meaning of this line? Horse began to trot means after that the horse started riding, it started jumping, it started running. The air was new and lovely to breathe. The feel of the horse running was wonderful. Means these boys, particularly this boy Aram, he really enjoying the ride, and he had that when he found that the horse was running, it actually a very wonderful feeling for the riders. My cousin Murad, who was considered one of the craziest members of the family, began to sing. I mean, he began to roar. Now this is very important, that Cousin Murad was always thought to be the craziest member of the family. Why? Because he was very crazy. He did so many different things in his life and he always had that unusual behavior. Now, here also, what was his unusual behavior? When they started having a horse ride and the horse was running, he started roaring. Means he actually, in his own eyes, he was singing, but it was not singing at all because he had a very coarse, very bad voice, and that was not melodious at all. And he started singing, but it was more like a roar. He was actually making a lot of noise. It was not a song actually at all for the listeners. Every family has a crazy streak in it somewhere, and my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant of the crazy streak in our tribe. Now this is very important, that these people, these Garogulinian people, they thought that they had that crazy streak. Please underline this word, crazy streak. Streak here means an unpleasant part of somebody's character, unpleasant, unusual, odd part of somebody's character, or maybe something unusual in somebody's behavior. So he says that every family, Garogulinian family, they had somebody or the other, and who would have that crazy streak in his character. And my cousin Murad was considered the natural descendant, means his cousin Murad was thought to be the best example of that crazy streak, because he was really sometimes he shows his madness. He was having that unusual behavior of the crazy streak in our tribe. Before him was Uncle Khosrow. लेकिन अगर हम इसकी बात करें, if we are talking about Murad, Murad is on the second place, because we have another one who is going to get the top rank, and his name was Khosrow. He is Uncle Khosrow, and he was, you can say, a better person to show the crazy streak, because he has that character, or those characteristics or features are better and more in Uncle Khosrow. And this Uncle Khosrow, important character, what he looks like, what is his physical characteristics, this is elaborated here. Uncle Khosrow, an enormous man. Enormous means very big, very huge man with a powerful head, a very powerful big head of black hair. He had black hair on his head and the largest mustache in San Joaquin Valley. In his valley, in that area, this man, Uncle Khosrow, had the largest mustache in the valley. And he was an enormous, very big, huge, stout, healthy man. Tall, handsome. A man so furious in temper. But this is very important about his character. He is very furious in temper. What is furious? Means angry. He was full of anger. He always shows anger to others. He was not ready to listen to anybody. He is such an impatient man that he could stop anybody when somebody would be saying, you can say, something, or telling him something. So irritable. Now this is very important. He was furious in temper. He was angry. So irritable. What is the meaning of irritable? Somebody who gets irritated by others easily. So he is an irritable person, an impatient man, so impatient that he stopped anyone from talking by roaring. It is no harm, pay no attention to it. Please underline this line. And this is actually his takiya kalam. Takiya kalam means he generally speaks the same thing again and again. Whenever he wants, or he wants somebody to get stopped, when he wants to make somebody silent, when he did not want to listen to others, he always speaks the same line. He says, it's no harm, pay no attention to it. This was his favorite line. This was the line, these were the words which he used hundreds of times in a single day. So this is the end of the day for today, and we'll start the chapter from the same paragraph tomorrow. Till then, have a good day, take care of yourself, stay at home. Thank you very much. Bye bye.